This week on Not Well, we talk about pussies.
And imagining having a pussy instead of a penis.
And bad gays in Columbus.
We talk about going to Wilton Manors and being a pathetic piece of shit.
And also people who leave fucking emails taped to your fucking computer screen.
We talk about gerrymandered Republicans pretending that they can ignore the will of the voters.
We also talk about Bobby's new gay campground.
And more on Not Well.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Not Well. I'm Bobby.
And I'm Jim.
And we are here drinking our wine on a Saturday.
Saturday, Monday, Saturday.
We love Saturday.
We love Saturday.
It is like my favorite day, actually.
I'm not going to lie. It's my favorite day to get drunk because then it's like,
you have a full day
to
the next
recover.
day.
Yeah.
Yep. You have all day tomorrow.
Sunday, I can wake up and be like, ooh, that hurt. But then sometimes on Sundays, though, sometimes you get a second wind and you're like, if I have like a beer, like let's go. Because I have a new thing for Sundays. It's called Sunday Hung Day. You don't wear underwear.
Oh, I like that.
And you wear like your sweatpants or you wear whatever, but it's got to be not like jeans.
It's so much more comfortable.
It is. So if you go out, though, you still have to wear no underwear.
What if I have to wear jeans tomorrow? Okay. Well, fuck it.
Well,
I'll wear sweatpants. That way they can see my balls because the dick will be shriveled.
I know. Isn't that so sad? I feel like it's true, though. But anyway,
Yeah.
happens to the best of us and the worst of us.
Also, have you ever had a gummy on Sunday to cure a hangover? Because I've heard it like completely cures
So
it.
it actually doesn't. I used to hear that too, and then I finally did it one time, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not hungover," because you get high, and then you're like, "Oh."
See?
You're like, I forgot it. My stomach's about. Actually, you know what else I have? Zofran, bitch.
You have Zofran?
Yeah, I need to.
You're such a bitch.
I need to remember that because that's what always gets me is the stomach. It's like, oh.
It's always that nausea feeling, that I can't eat feeling. And, you know, for us, not eating is the worst.
Well, and honestly, not eating. I look like a big yellow school bus, so like I don't not fucking eat. Do you know what I mean? Like we're not skipping. Actually, I didn't eat today yet.
What?
I mean, I had literally 3 scoops of cottage cheese. Yeah, I was waiting for you.
I'm gonna throw up cottage cheese.
Yeah, I'm trying to be skinny, so I was like,
have you ever thrown up cottage cheese? It's so bad. Because it's like the vomit color plus chunks. It's just bad.
Ew. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I just actually, speaking of throw up, I literally just got a new shirt from Old Navy, and it's a really nice like flannel shirt, and I had it on. I was like, something smells. I go, Michael, does this smell? And he's like, ew. And it smelled like throw up. So we're out of the package.
No.
Yeah. I was like,
wait, so it was in plastic wrap, like you had it delivered.
Like I just don't know if it's maybe the
so
material.
someone returned it and then they shipped it back
But
out. Maybe like this didn't fit. It's like no, you wore it out to the bar.
You wore it and you threw up.
It's like some girl like I want to wear boys. I want a boyfriend shirt.
Oh, I'm gonna wear a boyfriend shirt, and then I'm gonna return. Girls are the worst with returning. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but
I have friends.
Okay. I just want to call out all the ladies out there, and I know
Yeah.
you're going to think this is normal, but it's not normal to buy a bunch of shit and then wear it and then return
take it back.
It's not cute. It's not funny. You're not saving money. Like, it's not anything.
Well, and I know some
It's
of my
trashy.
friends used to do it at Old Navy all the time, and like
Why? Like, Old Navy, they're $5 shirts. Like, just buy the shirt. Like,
we
it's
would
so
spray
cheap.
it with Febreze and then like wave it in the. I mean,
no, after wearing it, it's sick.
well, I mean, at the time we were poor, but I mean, I get it, but I don't. You know what I mean?
I would rather have a friend with integrity buy one shirt and then wear it every day of the
Why the fuck are you
week.
sitting by me?
Well, I gave that up, but I would rather in the past.
Yeah, recently in the past. So how do we need to address anything from the last episode?
Yeah.
We do.
No, I just don't remember. I don't remember.
I do want to say
What the
to the
way
people
talk about
the good times and the bad times.
The
No,
maps and
Wyatt.
such.
Okay, so I realized that we didn't answer his, or we didn't like respond to his story.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I know he's alive because I've been messaging him on Instagram.
Was he at risk of dying?
Remember, he was on the side of the fucking road. He was like, my day's gotten worse, and now I'm on the side of the road, and it's
I
cold
do
and dark.
remember.
And I was like, oh no.
Poor Wyatt.
Poor Wyatt.
At that point, I've already Ubered to a bar. I'll let the tow truck get the car. Like I'm not going to sit around waiting for a tow truck.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Like this is what I do. This is what. Okay, remember like last year when Matt and me were supposed to go to like Marco Island, and then like all these delays happened, and we ended up in Tampa.
Yes.
And then I like on the plane, I'm on the Wi-Fi. I've already booked the cute boutique hotel. And
yes, I remember.
booked a dinner at a at the top restaurant there. And we just like literally landed in Tampa, got to the hotel, dropped our bags off.
We
went
did
around,
that in
had
Philly.
You know, you have to do it.
Like,
you
sometimes you have to
be able
accept the
So
fact.
Wyatt, live your life.
Live your life, babe. And don't cut
Wyatt.
your neighbor's grass, bitch. Now, I think
Not
we do
me. Not me.
I think we do have a voicemail, though.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see if there's any questions for us or comments.
That's 614-721-5336. Leave a voicemail. We'll get back to you.
Nobody calls about cock cages, which that was the fucking topic. So if you still need to figure it out, like,
I kind of want to meet a straight guy who wears a cock cage.
yeah, we need to know if any straight ladies.
And I want to see it. Is that
it's
bad?
so weird to me, though, the actual look of it. It's like weird.
I know.
It makes
but
it look smaller.
I've been having a lot of dreams of straight
Oh.
cocks.
I love a good straight.
I had a dream I was blowing someone I work with, and he had a completely average cock, but he was loving it.
Oh, yeah.
And I woke up and I was like, wow.
There's a lot of like body
And then I saw
positivity.
him and I was like, oh. And I don't even like talk to him a lot, so it's kind of weird. But I'm just having random dreams of blowing people I know.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not you, but other people. Hot
I'm not
people.
straight. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I hope I'm not in your vocabulary. What was I doing right now?
Yeah, if you're in my category,
You're out of
You
my
can't drop
league,
that
babe.
low.
Babe.
I know. I can tell.
Okay.
You found the voicemail.
So we did have like, it's okay. I'm going to play it.
Yeah. Let it go.
Wait. Hold up. Who this new caller trying to take my spot,
Son of a
cute
bitch.
boy?
Why do I always have technical difficulties?
Better not come to the
Testicle
crown.
difficulties. What's wrong now? I hear
I'm
it.
gonna take the crown and shove it up the brown and... No, I'm just joking. This isn't actually
Or maybe I have to turn
meant to be
this.
played on the podcast. I just wanted to say hi, you guys.
You can't hear it. I can hear
not
it.
calling in.
You can't
Like
hear
clearly?
it. Yeah.
How are you guys?
How are you guys? Yeah.
I will call in with the questions later. So don't try to replace me, boys.
Thatcher, you're not going to be replaced. Like,
Wait. Hold up. Who this new caller trying to take my spot, cute boy? You better not come for the crown. This time I'm gonna take the crown and shove it up the brown.
My pussy.
This isn't actually meant to be played on the podcast. I just wanted to
Oh,
say-
well.
well, Thatcher, well.
Thatcher. Okay, so
Would
this
you
is-
look at that?
I mean, he's thank God
He's
for him.
unhinged.
He is unhinged. I feel like he went on a bender. Bender. What's that thing?
I don't know if it was dust or a bug. I literally was like, he's slapping that
I was like,
dust.
is
You were
that dust or a
girl,
bug?
get
Girl, ew,
away.
get away.
Sack.
Gee, hi, cute boy. So I'm gonna word this in a weird way. It's not gonna be offensive, or try not to be offensive. So, what is a genre, category, kink, what have you, name it, something that interests you? You don't have to necessarily be into it, but it interests you, like BDSM or all the other ones. Teach me, teach you, cute boys. Bye.
Okay.
That's a good question. Like, what's
That
a little
is.
kink category that I'm like kind of interested in? I mean, earlier we had talked about findom, which I don't know why, but I want to get beaten up.
And you
like,
want a little cock cage.
You brought up cock cages, but
I
one thing that I'm kind of into.
Okay, like admit something.
I feel like I'm admitting, and actually the guy that I had a dream of blowing did this to me once and pretty much just like activated it. Like I didn't realize I had this kink until he activated it. Now he's married and just had a child, has 3 kids. Yeah, all that.
That's
So
cute.
that's great, isn't it?
Is that your kink? Is
Well, I
dads?
love hot dads.
Well,
So-
that's a kink.
Getting choked out. I
Like
think
during orgasm or like
No,
just being
in
choked?
general.
Like somebody
walk
walks up to you and just choke you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, I want a man to take control. I want a man to have my life in his hands. That's what I need. And I totally submit. I'm like, oh, kill me, daddy.
Oh, fucking choke me, dad.
But then like I also get hard, and then
Oh, okay. So like it really does
So
work.
when he did it, he had like come around and like put me in a chokehold,
Ooh.
and then to feel
like
like
high school
to feel his
again.
like hard
Arm around you,
biceps,
and you're like, oh,
his forearm,
fuck.
and then his chest and stomach pushing up against me as he does it. I'm just like, I feel that like everything's hard, like muscular, and I'm just like,
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
it's
you just imagine him railing his wife and having all these kids. Like, I know the cock
fill
works.
me with your love. Oh, it works. He's told me.
Not that it doesn't work if it doesn't work, but I'm just saying. Like I always, that's why
I don't care if it works or
like
not.
I always think when I see people and they're like, we're pregnant.
yeah.
I'm like, do your parents know that you guys just like bang the fuck out? Like it's weird when you really think about.
I
like,
work with a girl who like couldn't get pregnant, and she would be like, and then we have to have sex 4 times a week, and I have to lay on my back and put my legs in the air so the cum comes down into my vagina. I'm like, why are you telling me this at work? Oh, so we're gonna spend $40,000 and have sex 5 times a week, and you're gonna be upside down half an hour after
I
sex.
feel like nobody wants to have sex.
Like
no, with their person.
No, why would you?
I don't know.
They're
and
like
I'm
your life
realizing it
partner.
more.
They're like they're for everything else. Like they're
Yeah.
not like, it's hard to get excited about someone who's like
Always
shitting their
there.
brains out
Yeah.
next to you in the bed, and then like it's like
It's weird though. It's
yeah,
weird.
you like take care of them when they're sick, and then you take care of them when they're upset, whining, depressed, and then it's like, now I'm supposed to go upstairs and be like, oh my fucking God, you're so goddamn hot.
Oh,
It's hard.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Like I don't
No.
get the connection.
it's hard.
Yeah.
I guess for me, a little kink. I mean, I have a couple things. I don't know. I really like. I think more or less, I like people with power.
You're gonna fuck my slutty little mouth.
I just really like if
Yeah.
you're like a teacher or an office, like a boss, and honestly, there's one other that I have to say that's really inappropriate.
Maybe not.
It's kind of been brought up before on the podcast. Like sometimes I always wonder, like, what it'd be like to suck a priest off.
Yeah,
Actually a fan.
I was not expecting that.
Sometimes,
Priest.
yeah, I don't know, like a hot priest. Like they're stupid. They don't know how to use their cocks. Like,
Okay.
they're
Yes.
not straight.
Actually,
Isn't that fun, straight people? You listen to a gay guy preach to you every week.
this. So, okay.
But it's the sacrament.
Have you ever heard of a show called Fleabag? Have you watched it?
I know what you're going to say, though. No, I know the scene that she fucks a priest. We talked about this on the show. Remember the guy
it's so
called?
good. Yeah.
So
So that's what I'm saying. Watch that again. You just need to watch the whole show because the whole show's good. Like
Yeah.
all the series. Like, but
so is that like I
it's
imagine
British.
like I imagine like in the confessional, it's dark. I'm in like some weird state I never want to go to, and I'm just sitting there in the dark and being like, I confess, I want to fuck you or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden he opens like the curtain thing, and then like I can blow him, and it's a nice cock. God blessed him.
It probably would be. I feel like
I feel like they're all nice because they're not beaten up.
Yeah,
well,
right.
Because they're scared to jack off because they're like, oh my
yeah,
God.
like they probably are pretty and they're probably not dry, crusty. They probably are perfect.
Honestly, they're
A
probably
priest
really
cock
pretty.
is probably pretty.
That's why I envision it. I
That's
also
an interesting kink.
I know, and I've never said it out loud, and it's fine.
I'm still feeling weird about it. I feel like I have too much trauma.
Here's
around
what it is,
religion,
though.
so I'm
Here's
like,
what it is.
It's not for me.
Well, like I said, it's a people of power because and this is
Okay.
going to sound even more psychotic, and I'm ready for it. I want the power from you. So in order to get it, I've got to do something that you're ashamed of.
Oh no, is that why I like straight guys too?
Yes.
Because then I have the power of being
Right.
like, you're
Once
gay.
you get the power, once you get the power.
And when I did that in undergrad, I remember being like, I told
Once it
I told a
happens-
straight guy's friend once, I was like, yeah, well, I just like fucked him the other day. Because this straight guy was like making fun of things I was doing or something. And I was like, oh, you mean him?
Oh, the one that I
Yeah.
sucked off in the bathroom? Got
I
it.
literally was like, he was just in my bed last night. So what are you talking
But that's
about?
what I'm saying. Like, I like the power thing.
That
Like,
was a bad thing though too. Like I should not be outing people. So I feel bad about it, but I did like it at the time.
I'm watching a show called The Traveler.
Oh, The Travelers
Or-
in 1950s?
Yeah, the lavender thing. The lavender scare. I never heard about this. Do you even know what this is? People are like, you don't know the lavender scare? I'm like, I have no fucking idea.
Now, are you talking about a new show where the
Yes,
two leads are
two
gays
gay.
in the 1950s and McCarthy's era? Yeah, I know about it, yes.
So can you explain that to me? Because I didn't know it was like, I mean, they were going after all the gays.
They're going after all the gays because they were saying the gays had infiltrated all the top levels
That
of
they were
government.
communists.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And so
okay.
McCarthy was insane, probably gay himself. What was he, a senator from Wisconsin? I
Yeah,
feel
somewhere, I'm not
like?
going.
Like someone stupid. But yeah, he led all these investigative committees to go like after government officials to claim that they were communist. And they went to college campuses. I mean,
everywhere. And like you would have to
you could not. I mean, think about that. You couldn't be a communist. How is that illegal? They were calling you a traitor if you identified as a communist, which is just
well, first of all,
a political belief.
Well,
like, why can't you have a political belief that I'm a communist? Like, what's wrong with that?
But also,
They were saying you were conspiring against your own country if you were a communist. So they actually killed people for being communists.
Well,
they would be like, you were spying for the Russians.
But my thing is this, like, why do we, but then of course, then the gays get raveled into it though.
Oh yeah.
And that's
always.
where I sort of like, I'm like, why do the gays always have to like get swooped up in this whole situation too? Like, I don't want it. Like,
well, it's like now, like the Republicans are like, wow, some of our Boy Scout leaders, priests, and Republican leaders,
all touch
cops
boys.
and pastors, all touch boys. Let's blame the gays, though. We're gonna blame the gays.
it's because of it. And I'm like, honey, I grew up in Woodstock,
The gays are
Georgia.
groomers. I'm like, the gays.
I didn't know one fucking gay person growing up. Literally zero. I was around all straight influence.
But you probably knew some pedophile priest. Like I did.
I love Father Pat.
I remember Father
I'm
Tom.
actually a fan.
Father Tom.
Why do they have weird name? Pat. Father Pat and Tom.
Oh, they always, yeah. Like, why are they even priests? But Father Tom, we got back from our 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip.
You already
and
suck.
like 3 months later, he got relieved of his duties and transferred to another parish.
Because he got relieved.
Because he was hanging out with and buying alcohol for
You
8th grade football players.
Weird. You picked the hot and shape ones.
Yep.
By that I mean,
And they didn't release
For 8th
other
grade.
details, but I'm pretty sure I know what's happening if there's a priest giving beer to 8th grade boys.
You're not just doing that
having
'cause
them
you're cool.
Take your shirt off. Show me what you've been working on in the gym. Show me that play again. You two, get on the ground and really fight it out.
I really love when
like,
you're
the priest was jerking off to these boys in 8th grade. And he gets relieved of his duties. And it was just like nothing. It was like Father Tom got moved to Cincinnati from Dayton. And I'm like,
but meanwhile,
why? And someone like whispered, like,
well, he's a molester.
no, someone whispered, like, well, he gave beer to the boys. And I'm like, that's really it.
Sure,
He
that's
just
that's
gave,
the top of the
gave
surface.
beers
Yeah.
to the. Why would he give beers to 8th grade boys who are like,
And then he
how
was probably
young?
like, "Oh God,
Right.
your dicks are so big." Like it's
you guys
so
going through the
groomy.
change? If you guys have any questions about sex,
if you
want to
just like want me to look at your cocks, like just to let you know if you're normal.
and that's what we grew up with. That was just like a common thing. Like, oh, the priest got transferred. And so that's why, like, for
I'm
me,
glad I
like,
wasn't in a
sucking off a
Catholic
priest,
school.
I'm like, no thanks.
See, I wasn't in a Catholic school, so for me, it's more like
I had
it's
to see
power.
these-
I
I
want
had to
you to
see-
be on. I want.
Here's what would happen: the priest would walk down the hallway, and you all had to like line up and be like, "Hello, Father Tom."
Oh God!
Like even the teachers would come out. We would line up in individual
Why do
file
they-
and be like, "Hello, Father Tom." If he walked into the classroom while we were studying, if a priest came in, we would all stand up and be like, "Hi, Father Tom," and then sit
It
down.
is such a cult. Like
It's a
I can't.
fucking
It's
cult.
so crazy.
Like, it's
Like
awful.
it's so.
Like,
I'm so
it's
glad you're
real.
out.
I know. Like honestly, looking at it now, I'm like, religion is so fucked
It's
up.
so fucked up. I mean, but hey, trans people can get baptized now or something.
I know.
I'm like, why are we making it out?
This
like,
poor
what in the
Pope.
fuck
I
is
feel like he
going
just wants to
on?
flip the church upside down, but he's not allowed. Like
I actually agree. I think he's actually
literally
a lot
trying.
more
He's
liberal
like,
than
yeah, you can actually baptize trans people and they can be godparents. He said trans people can be godparents, which is like my sister picked me as godparent, even though I was out. Like
I know that's so, but that's
because it's not real. Do you know how
No.
much stronger the church and religion would be as a force of power if they just accepted society's changing? Like, because they would just, we would be going to church if I grew up being
Oh,
like,
I would have too.
oh, you can be
'Cause I
out.
felt good.
You can get married to a man. You can, because I felt part of a community. I liked
Yeah,
it.
I wouldn't have quit.
I was like, this is kind of fun. Like every Sunday you get together, you see the same people, you hang out.
Now I hear a God thing and I'm like,
Yep. But that's all because they reject us. If they had accepted us, the church would be so much stronger.
and again, and it's what we've always said, which is the exact opposite of the teachings of Jesus Christ.
I know.
So it's like I'm not really sure. Also, I never read the goddamn Bible.
Jesus
okay?
was a radical.
Like all these people are like, we believe in the Bible. I'm like, well, name me
didn't-
one verse,
Right, you didn't
Because
read
I
it.
can't.
You didn't read it.
And not John 3:16, bitch. You only saw it because you watched wrestling.
I literally,
Okay.
there's all these football players are like,
Oh, John 3:16.
that's why I have
I'm
a
like,
fake Bible verse in my Instagram profile because I'm like, this is so fucking dumb. But people see it and are like, oh,
he
are you
must be
Christian?
religious.
I have to tell people, I'm like, that's a made up number.
And that's what's funny about it is that
chapter 139, verse 57. Like, that's not real. Look it up. It's not real.
look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up, honey.
Look it up.
I do want to touch base. We're on the same kind of vein, but like Ohio passed weed and abortion.
Well, I was gonna bring. Yeah,
Okay.
we
You
have
wanna
to
go
talk
into
about.
it?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to go into it. So leading up to this, let's like go back in time.
Okay.
So we have the ability in Ohio to pass amendments and issues through ballot initiatives. Okay. So Republicans saw that we were trying to put reproductive freedom into our Constitution. So what do? They first have an election in August where they try to raise the threshold to 60% to pass. Because right now it's a majority of people, majority vote passes any issue that's on the ballot.
Yep.
So they try to first thwart us in that way in August. They fail. Like 58% of Ohioans came out and were like, no, we want it to be majority rule. Like that's a democracy, majority rule, not 60%. This is in the fucking Senate. Okay, so the next thing you know, they change the language of the ballot initiative, the summary. And so the Republicans get the summary change from fetus to unborn child.
I can't.
So they tried to trick people with the summary language of the ballot initiative. So when you went in the ballot box, you'd have to read it and be like,
Because people are
oh, we're
dumb.
going to kill unborn children. Okay. So they changed the language. Then that language got appealed by the groups trying to pass this and put it in the amendment in the Constitution. So we take it to the Ohio Supreme Court. The Ohio Supreme Court's like, no, that language is good. It's not confusing. Like, that's the right language. Like, okay, so they can vote on it. So it's approved by a Republican Ohio Supreme Court. So then it gets on the ballot. Then Ohioans pass it because
'Cause we're not
Ohioans are like,
stupid.
yeah, we're not stupid. We're like, nope, we definitely want to make sure 10-year-olds can get an abortion if their dad rapes them and they don't have to go to Indiana for an abortion, which is a real case. A real case.
Yeah.
So what happens after we pass it? Now the Republicans in the state house are like, no, this isn't the end. No, we're going to make
this
sure.
is just the beginning.
They were confused. The language was confused. This is what
Millionaires
they're saying.
from outside,
Yeah, they're
too.
like, the language was confusing and deceptive. This was your language. The Republican Secretary of State approved the language for the ballot initiative. Then you guys changed the summary language. Then the Ohio Republican Supreme Court said, yeah, it's good. It's not confusing or deceptive. You can vote on this. It was all Republicans who approved all of this. Then we vote on it and we say yes. And now you guys are like, oh, it's deceptive.
We're gonna try to do. They're gonna try to pass
They're
all
going to
these
try to
other
have
bills
another
now,
ballot
like where it's
initiative.
like,
They're like, we're just going to put it on the ballot again. Okay, put it
Okay,
on the
do it,
ballot again.
bitch. 'Cause I'm
Put
telling
it
you,
on
people
the
are done with
fucking
your
ballot
shit.
again. We're done with it.
a lot of Republicans are done with your shit.
The
Like, this is
Republicans in the
ridiculous.
legislature are so drunk
if
on power
you-
because they're gerrymandered in. They think they have. They're like, look at us. We have a big majority. You only have a big
No,
majority
'cause you
because you have a
loop in-
gerrymandered districts. If you didn't have a gerrymandered district, which by the way you shouldn't have, because the Ohio State Supreme Court last year said 3 times that the districts you drew were illegal and you ignored it.
Yeah, like how,
Republicans
that's what scares me a little bit.
Republicans
though.
do not like
But is that
democracy.
not scary?
They don't want
That
to follow
scares me though a little
democracy.
bit because like,
Yep.
well,
they
who's
just
to say
ignore
we're
it.
not all just gonna say fuck it? I'm not listening to anything.
No, we could do that.
It's anarchy.
We could do that.
Well, I know, and that's what's gonna end up
If
happening.
enough people are just like, you know what, we're going to have an abortion clinic, we're going to have abortions, and if police come, we're going to shoot them, and if the Ohio National Guard comes, we're going to have AR-15s and we're going to shoot
Yep.
them. We could do that.
at
That's
least
literally.
at least you'll approve of that. Having guns.
Oh yeah, they would be like, well, they're just exercising their rights.
No, they'd be like the gays with
Yeah.
guns. They're
Gays with
they're
guns, we have to-
dangerous.
Well, it's just like in the 70s, like once Black Panther Party and
Right,
black people
once
started
black
having
people started
guns, they restricted guns on
Yeah.
government grounds.
Yeah.
Like you can't come to the state house with guns anymore. It's like, oh, so we can open carry anywhere but Congress? Huh. That's interesting.
The whole thing,
Wow.
the whole thing's kind of scary. If
So you
really
guys
think
have
about
to be
it.
protected, but the rest of the public doesn't need to be protected.
Yeah, got it.
They know it's
It's-
all just whatever
it's
you want to
bad.
do, you can do in this country.
It's bad, and there's
no laws.
they're
not
We're
real.
in for a new treat.
Yeah, we're in a new era because things are unraveling and quickly, and I think maybe it's for the best. Like these
I kinda do
motherfuckers,
too,
these
like-
motherfuckers don't want to respect what we voted on. Okay, let's see what happens.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so you're so about like democracy and shit, but then this happens, and you're
yeah,
like,
we don't like it. The people didn't know what they were voting for.
okay, well then you're. Well, did you see Rick Santorum or whatever his name is?
Oh yeah, he was like it only passed
You
because they
should
put
never do
sexy
that.
issues on. They put sexy issues
Yeah,
like
you-
marijuana and abortion on the ballot.
They
Like,
should never do
those
that.
aren't sexy
First of all, it's not
issues.
sexy. First of
they
all,
directly affect our lives.
marijuana is not a big deal. Abortion is. It's not about just abortion. It's about women's health care.
My mom voted for issue 2. Yes. My mom who's never used marijuana in her entire life. And I
love
remember
it.
growing up being like, she would tell stories, be like, your dad used marijuana
And you're
in
like,
college. And we were like, my sister and I were like, so dad did marijuana in college. Like, we don't really care. We're in high school. Like, why would we care about that? Like, I know people use marijuana. Like it was like, okay, dad did that. Okay. But, and then Matt's like conservative family member. I mean, even some of Matt's family members, even we are a Republican state, not by a big, like 55-45, but
are we?
But the fact that Ohio voted for abortion rights shows you it's a winning issue even with Republicans. Like, people want to control their bodies.
I'm actually not convinced.
Republican women want to control their bodies. They do. What? You're not convinced we're Republican in Ohio? I mean,
because they go by like, okay, but think about
plus 7 to 8 Trump. Like, we're Republican.
I know, but wait.
Yeah.
Even popular vote?
Oh, yeah. Ohio's bad. Yeah, plus 8.
Well, because we have a lot of idiots too.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, look around.
Including
Ohio.
one of my.
Like, you go outside Columbus and you realize, like, I was driving to Hocking Hills last week with Matt, and I was like, oh, like there's signs like everywhere. Which this
and that's
is
why
one
I want
sign
to put a campground.
And this is one sign I wanted to bring up. So this was a billboard against issue 2, and it's in Hocking Hills, and it said it had a picture of a baby laying in someone's hand.
A baby,
and it said, CDC says, marijuana hurts babies. Vote no on issue 2. Now, how ironic is this that they're trying to get people to vote no on issue 2 by quoting the CDC, which
but then they don't want to listen to CDC.
The people who are going to vote against issue 2 don't give a fuck what the CDC says. These are the people, the anti-vaxxers, the crazy people who are like, you think they're going to read a billboard and go, oh, the CDC says marijuana is bad for babies? You just convinced them to vote yes on issue 2. Like, you're a fucking idiot. These people are so disconnected from reality. Like,
so,
they're like, marijuana's bad. The CDC says so. And it's like, remember how we hate the CDC?
Well, I love how people are like, well, what if people drive? And I go, people drive drunk all the time.
People drive drunk.
Like, nobody wants to remember that.
Whenever there's a football game, whenever it's a Friday or Saturday night.
Right now, there's drunks driving around every fucking
on the way
where.
to your house. We were at the stoplight on the overpass, passing over Parsons on Main Street, heading towards your house. Someone reversed from the intersection traffic light. They reversed all the way back to where you get off 71 and onto Main Street, and then turned around. I literally, my driver was like, what is this person? Like, people are so drunk right now. There are no rules. But they're worried about, well, what if people drive high? When people drive high, they're slower
slow.
and they're careful.
And everybody knows that if they, I mean, like, if you're doing any research.
I've been in the car with my friends when they're high.
Hello.
And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize you were high. But,
no,
and then I watch them and I'm like, no, we're actually going the speed limit. They're checking their mirrors.
Yeah, it's like almost overkill.
They're like, I'm like, you can go faster. Like,
you're like, go.
You can go
you're fine.
No, I'm like, go 5 over. And they're like, well, I can't go 5 over.
Meanwhile, the drunk guy comes flying around the corner at 120 miles an hour being like, I hate my life. And you're like,
literally.
Okay. Like, alcohol brings out the worst.
Angry.
Yeah. Alcohol brings out the worst. Weed brings out like tired or happy. Like, there's no other.
Lowers anxiety. Like, makes you.
I mean, sure, you could take a little too much and then you freak out. But
can
like,
people be in road rage when they're high? I doubt it. I don't think so.
No, I'd be like, motherfucker.
You just laugh like, that person's crazy.
I'm fully for it.
No, I am so glad issue 2 passed. And it's always the worst groups who are against things. That's how you should know how to vote. Like, the cops came out against issue 2. That's why I voted yes. It's like,
I just don't get where we're going with everything. Like, I just don't get where this country's going. I don't get where the world's going. I don't get.
Over half of American adults right now live in weed legal states. Like, it's time for genocide Joe Biden to go ahead and legalize weed at a federal level. Like, I am gonna say I'm a little concerned. Yeah, he's not gonna win.
Well,
he's out, and Trump's out too because he'll be in prison.
Okay, then
people are going to vote for him. That's the thing is, like, we are going through a revolution right now of massive change. Like, Joe is so disconnected. When you go to the POTUS page on Instagram, read the comments.
I also feel like
he's 80. They are peddling him around to be like, what is he doing?
So this is what I was thinking the other day, though, that really freaks me out, though. Is like, who's they?
Right.
Because everybody sort of
it's the military industrial
but everybody kind of listens to what's going on.
Uh-huh.
But like, who really is in charge? Because honestly,
Secession gave a good. The news media. It's the weapons manufacturers.
It has nothing to do with
corporations that are so powerful with billions of dollars, trillions. They're worth trillions. They control the politicians. They control the narrative. Every single news outlet can control what we hear and see. Remember that clip of those videos of all the news
they all were
anchors
saying the same
like,
things.
And blah blah blah.
Blah, blah,
And
blah,
we care about, and that's why. And it's like they all say the same things because they're fed the same narrative. The
they're
same
for
agenda
the same
is
company
pushed. Yes.
who's getting paid the same thing from this person that's getting paid from it's fucking stupid. I'm done with it.
Our politicians
Now-
are fully just bought out. Like they
Now,
don't have
if you
any
want to
power.
buy us out,
We will
I'm not
do.
saying like I wouldn't.
We'll say what we have to say. Now, if you're offering millions,
yeah, we're talking millions.
Hey,
Well,
Spotify, if you want to contract us,
if you want to contract us, we'll say whatever you want.
genocide be damned. We'll go ahead and say what you want to say.
Now, where's my kafifi?
Kafifi.
I love that
you
thing.
Kafiye.
You,
Oh yeah, it's downstairs. I forgot to wear it. Oh, I'll put it on when I go get our refills. So yeah, issue 1 and issue 2 passed, which is honestly a bright spot for me because it tells me that people in Ohio are still sane. Like they realize, like, yeah, we don't actually want a politician to come into the doctor's office and say you can't do that. Like these Republicans want
these
women
are the
to
same
die.
people that say
they want women to die.
Get government out of people's lives,
Right.
But then you want it in
You
people's
can't
lives.
force me to get a vaccine, but no, you don't control your. When you're pregnant, you are our
you ain't not
property.
getting-
You are just a cattle. You are just a pregnant cattle, and I'm going to control what you
I
can
feel
do.
so bad for women, and I especially
I
feel
know.
bad for the women who are so dumb that they vote for it.
I know,
And I'm like,
they fully bought into
girl.
it. Well, it's
but it's sad. It's like
white
they
women.
know
White women have always participated in
they-
upholding the patriarchy. Like you have to look back.
because they don't know.
You
They're
have to
so
look back.
stupid.
Go back to slavery time. Like it's not like white women in the South were really trying to fight for abolition. They didn't care. They had
They were
power.
baking their bread.
They had power. They got to sit in
Bake
their little
bread.
pretty houses and their compounds and their plantations and say, "Yeah, you do this and you do this." And
Harold.
my husband will
Yeah.
take control of this. So that's the problem: is that the system, when it gives you power, you feel like you support the system.
But my question then is like, and this is where it's fucked up though, is that if you're given power though, why wouldn't you take it?
It takes a special person to realize it's not worth taking the power because the power is false.
It's like because I see
when you realize that your power comes off oppression of other people,
Yeah.
you realize it's not real. It's not real power. Power comes from when the people who are oppressed support you. The people who are oppressed say, "Yeah, I can let you be my voice because I want you to fight for me."
Mm-hmm.
Power comes through solidarity. Power comes through building relationships. Power does not come through oppression, and that's
Well, I
the
think
problem.
power is also a respect thing. Like it's
Yes,
like
exactly.
Like you have the most ultimate power if you have respect.
Uh-huh.
And again, it's really ironic
It
to me that
starts at a
these
community.
Republicans.
It starts at a community level.
But again, it's like these same fucking conservative Republicans who are like baby Jesus.
Scare tactics.
Jesus was poor. Jesus was trash.
Jesus was Palestinian.
He was Palestinian. He was literally
brown. He was brown.
Nobody liked him.
He was brown.
And you would not like him today.
Nope.
And that's my point. And meanwhile,
It's like if a brown Jew came up to these people in power right now, do we think they would like Jesus?
it goes back to the
They would fucking hate
Oh
him.
yeah, and then like Mary, like,
Because
I'm a
Jesus was
virgin.
talking about overthrowing the power structure. Jesus was talking about talking to the people who were outcast, who
Yeah.
the current power structure hated. The prostitutes,
Weird.
the tax collectors, the people with no money, the people with no
Weird.
property, the Samaritans from different groups that we hated. That's what Jesus talked about. Right now, the Republicans would hate Jesus if he came along.
hate him.
They'd be like, "Oh, some
They
brown
would
Jew
lie
is
about
talking
Mary.
about
They'd
what?"
be like, Mary's a whore. She's
Mary's
a liberal
yeah.
whore.
Yep. Oh, she's an unwed teenage mother.
Oh, she must be a
She
liberal.
deserves to burn.
She's been groomed.
Yep.
It's like
I'm telling you. They would hate Jesus right now.
Oh.
Republicans would hate Jesus.
now, and they would hate him then because honestly, he would be friends with all the gays.
They did hate him then. They crucified him. They put him to
Yeah,
death.
by the way, just so you remember,
He was in his 30s, and they're like, let's put him to death because you know what? He's causing too much trouble. Let's just hang him on a cross. That's what they did. And that's why.
And that's on God.
Yep.
Literally, it's God. Now, are you really doing refills? Okay, let me look at my notes because I do have something I have to talk about that's like fucking insane. Jim, what are Saturdays for?
Saturday.
What are they?
Saturday fun day. Saturday.
What is this?
Beverage.
This cannot be the entire. We're dead.
What? No, we're not.
Babe.
A half a bottle at a time? That's nothing. That's literally 4 beers, like 4 White Claws.
I've literally had 0 to eat.
What do you think I've eaten? I had like mac and cheese, microwavable mac and cheese at like 3 a.m. That's all I've had today.
Okay, so now you're talking about work.
I'm going to talk about work really quick because I literally this week have noticed that people don't respect other people's time. Or the fact when they walk in the office, they want to fucking. Oh. when they walk into the fucking office, okay, so I have my backpack. I walk in with my snacks. I get, hey, come here for a second.
Like, why? It's like, no, not right.
It's
I'm walking
not even
in.
7 o'clock.
Like, hi, I'm walking in.
It's 6:50. I'm walking in. I'm going to put my
I
stuff
don't
down,
start till
start my
7.
computer. No, it's right now. So then, this is where I literally almost fucking threw something through a goddamn fucking, I almost walked the fuck.
Yeah.
So I get in on Thursday and I have this taped to my computer. Now,
Let me read this.
It's not even a big deal. It's basically a customer wants something, right?
Yeah, but why is it taped to your computer
Now, I want you
when
to-
they can just come to you at 8:30 and tell you?
Hi. So the email was sent at 4:59 p.m. I leave at 4 o'clock, but I get in at 7. So at 7, I could have read it. Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
They had to
Said
print
person
it?
had to print it and tape it to my monitors. Let me tell you, that is the ultimate disrespect. Like,
That means they don't think you read your email. Like,
Correct. That
did you have a
means-
talking to, please?
did I say something?
Yeah, I would tell the employees, like, hey, by the way, I do read my emails. I don't need you to inform me of anything sent after 4 p.m.
So it was, I'm telling you right
You
now.
need to go talk to them because that's absolutely disrespectful.
Well, it's like somebody who's in management. So I'm like, it was somebody who's not upper, but like.
But then it's like
same
even a
plane.
bigger question. Like you need to ask them politely. Maybe
I wanna be like,
hey, so do you think like I'm not doing my job? Like have I
And
not
the
followed
problem is
through
that
on
this
emails
is the
before?
same bit. Now, let me just be honest with you.
Go ahead.
The person's name is the name that everyone calls the person that's always annoying at places. Yeah. So my
I know
thing
the
is
name.
this.
I
Like,
know
you
the name.
literally are that person.
Yep.
But like, you literally could have done anything else other than tape a fucking email to my goddamn fucking screen. But no. And also, I would have read the email. And also, it was over one piece of pipe. Like, not like a bundle, not like a huge thing, nothing. It was one piece of pipe.
Pipe.
I was slinging pipe, babe. So, I just want to make a comment.
I did have a dream about us.
Oh, she's gone.
No, make the comment.
I just hate everyone. Like, I hate work. Like, I hate people at work. Like, let me do my fucking goddamn job. Don't pull me into your office before I sit down. Don't tape shit to my computer before I sit down. I will handle the business. I've been doing this at this company for 15 years.
Exactly. And that's where I'm like struggling with why don't these people realize
Because
that?
she's an idiot. And honestly, she's an idiot. And
15 years.
right.
Like think about that. That's like
know what I'm doing.
yeah,
It's like,
after 15 years, you don't know how to read an email and order something?
nope.
No, they have to tape
She
it.
wanted me to know. Oh, this is really throwing me for a loop.
Oh my god, do you know what this is like?
Oh my
Hayao Miyazaki.
God.
These
American
are like-
Beauty.
Really?
The bag.
Yeah, it could be like the bag. No, but it's like Hayao Miyazaki, like Totoro, like the Japanese animator, and he gives the dust.
Totoro? Like, I love how when you get like, and I think it's great because you're really trying to be nice.
Tipsai.
No, but like, you'll be like, anything we talk about, you're like, you know, that Mexican, like, you always like try to do like a version. You really do try to pronounce right. And I think I like that.
Because it's Japanese.
It's respectful.
Like this.
And
This
you need to
is
get your
the-
nails done.
I know. Sunday.
Girl,
I'm
they're
going
growing
Sunday.
out.
Not tomorrow, but Sunday. No, it's bad.
Tomorrow
Like,
is Sunday.
not the next Sunday. Look.
Oh, we have to go another week.
That's what I thought when I was like, that is a dust bunny with a personality, with a life.
I had a little. Okay, that's like the bag in American Beauty. Like,
Yep.
you don't know
You're
what's
like,
controlling that. Like, what if
what
that's a
is
person?
that?
What if it's
Could
like a
be.
ghost?
Could
or
be.
your
Well,
great,
it could be. Yeah. What if it's a ghost thrown it in the air?
your great grandmother being like a bitch?
That's
get it
actually a
together.
good movie that my parents brainwashed me into thinking was like evil and terrible.
No, it's a great movie.
But it's actually like when I watch it, I'm like, wow. this is
honestly, I would
America.
fuck Kevin Spacey in that movie. Sorry, I said it.
I
don't
love
care.
that. I know. Even
Like when
though
he
he
was
got
working
accused
out.
of.
Under those sweatpants.
He got well, he's like gay and he got accused of, raping boys, but you got to pay the price if you want to get up in Hollywood.
gay, straight, whatever you are. People are raping boys and girls. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, there is some.
It's like sad. It's really terrible.
This is
we
gonna
are all
sound-
fucking terrible, and not me.
This is
but I'm
gonna
just
sound
saying.
terrible, but I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm just saying.
If you're in an industry where you know that in order to get ahead, you might have to make some exchanges. It's a little bit like weird to me that you go ahead and do all these things, you get ahead, and then 10 years later, you're like, By the way, like 10 to 15 years ago, I had to have sex on a couch. And it's like, okay, I mean, yeah, that's fucking terrible.
But
you're a millionaire now, and
you like run the free world.
Was it really that bad? Like,
no.
Now I know sex can be very bad. It can be very bad.
Most of the time it is.
Like, is it really a full assault if you know what's going on?
Well, that really bothers me about like people.
Like and they're like, and people warned me about it too, and I'm like, okay, so you knew
about it,
that
and
they
you
were
still went.
someone who fucked people on the casting couch, and then you still went to the meeting.
No offense,
and got
but
fucked on a casting couch.
Are you
but
going?
Didn't talk about it for 10 to 15 years, and now it's a problem because of. It's like it is a problem,
Listen,
but it's also something you participated in.
You need to ask yourself.
And you're a millionaire.
I need you to ask yourself.
Is it really that bad?
No. So if somebody came up to us and we're like, hey,
we have women getting raped and making $0.
We will give you $5 million, but this slobby, old, nasty little dick faggot over here needs to fuck you.
I would absolutely say
like,
yes.
Yeah, that's not a problem. But I'm not going to come back 5 years and be like, oh my God. When after
Spotify
I'm rich,
could walk me into a room. There could be a fat old priest in there, and I would absolutely
like the fattest cock,
suck him off.
I'd be so scared if it was a really big dick though, and you couldn't.
Oh no, I bleed for a few weeks. It's fine.
I
can have surgery on my hole, but if you're gonna make me a millionaire and I'm bleeding out of my hole,
just
I would be a millionaire.
fix my hole, like make a new hole.
They can.
Well,
they can make one on a bag right here.
I need a whole
You can poop into a bag.
No, I want to like, yeah.
It's
Anyway,
not
sorry.
that I'm downplaying sexual assault.
No,
it's
not at
just
all.
that I do find it funny that the loudest voices are coming from people who are millionaires, and we're supposed to be like. Right.
Let's
so
put it in-
you have all this power and you're the ones leading the charges. I want to talk about the women who are raped and have no power and have no lives. And
lives.
Are you laughing at sexual assault?
No, you. When you said lives.
Lives.
No lives.
Yeah,
it is very, very.
It's all interesting to me. I'm not really like condemning anyone. I'm not making any statements. I'm not trying to go on the record.
But
here.
again, it's like, don't go over there. Then you go over there. And then they're like, okay, but because you went over there, we're going to give you this. But then you can't like reverse. Like, you've got like, it doesn't make sense.
Like,
it doesn't make sense.
Should Harvey Weinstein be raping girls in order to give them roles in movies? No. Like, that's disgusting.
But who'd you see up there?
He's a disgusting fat pig.
Gwyneth.
But then the people who did it, where are they now? Well, now they have
mansions on the fucking hills that are burning down.
Now they're living in Malibu, and it's like
it's burning down though. It's karma.
Girl.
Well, girl, fuck.
So
yeah. Anyway, keep going, honey.
Well, I did have a dream about us, but I just wanted to. It shouldn't be a sundry.
It's
a
be
full
a sundry.
thing. It's just a full thing. I had this dream that we were like, it was weird because like you're a friend, and I don't think of you this way. But someone else was like participating as well. So there were like three guys,
and I'm one of them.
Yeah, and you're one of them. And it was like a hot straight guy that kind of like we like talked to and figured out.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's into us in a weird way, but like.
So we take terms with his cock?
No, not even that. Like it was even less than that, but it still felt like funny. But like he put on straight porn and wanted to like jerk off with us, and we just all three jerked off.
I mean,
we weren't touching each other or kissing, but I was like into it.
Well, yeah. If a straight guy said to me and you, "Do you guys want to jerk off?" I'd probably be like, "Yeah."
I'm not probably. I hope you would say full.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it depends on what he looks like.
We don't have to stare at each other. Like we were staring at.
Well,
the
no.
straight guy.
I'd be like, I'd help the straight, and then we'd be like,
and we
"Do you
both
need
were,
help?
and then we kind of were both.
Do you want
like,
a fat or do you want a femme?
Exactly. We were both like,
we're powerful.
No fats, no femmes.
Honestly, we're very powerful.
No, I think I do feel like together you have the sports and like the manly background.
I do. I can keep it
and I have the background where I'm like, whatever you want to do is fine.
You have the flirty, I'm gonna get in your pants background, and I have the ones like, don't worry about him.
I don't need you.
But really,
fuck him. He's crazy.
I'm like,
and
oh,
then
he's
like,
funny, isn't he funny? And then I'm like, oh, let's give you a tug, and then I'm like,
see, I feel like we have power.
We have
over
a
straight
really.
men.
It's back to the power situation. I just want power, and I want to take
if
it from you.
If you want to roll in the movie, get on the casting couch. So,
I mean, again, I'd be there.
Okay, that was weird, but I had that dream, and I was like, I'm freaking out. How do I tell Bobby?
That's an interesting dream. That's an interesting
really
dream.
I woke up and I was like, he's a friend. But then I was like,
but jerking off is not a big like.
That's
I mean,
how
I'm not going to jerk off with you for fun, but like if there was some sort of like situation
it
where
wasn't
it was
like a Thursday afternoon,
like we were at the
put
Eagle,
some porn on,
right?
Oh,
if we were at the Eagle Wheaton Manor, Wheaton Manors. If we were there, like, okay,
I would absolutely. If
we'd be just like, oh.
if we followed some 19-year-old college boys into the back dark room, I would absolutely jerk off in front of you, and I wouldn't care.
I wish I wasn't scared. I'm a little scared in those moments, but
I'm not anymore. It's weird. It's bad.
I just honestly,
I've given up.
Can I just say something? In my older age, in my age, I don't want to do anything. You just suck me off, bitch. Like I'm so.
And that's what I tell Matt to do.
What is it? Is it submissive or I'm kind of dumb.
I told Matt. Matt's listening.
Matt.
Thursday.
Michael's not.
Or Wednesday. I was like, I said, no, my imagination was I'm laying here and you're doing it all. I said, I want you to caress me. I don't want to
touch you.
I don't want to be on top. I don't want to have to expend energy. I want to lay there and you caress me and you take care of me. And if I say go lower, you go lower. And if I say lick here, you lick here.
And if I'm going to fuck your face when you're leaning against the bed like this, like this morning, then I'm going to do that as well.
And that's what happened. And honestly, that's why I feel like we're the similar. Like,
well, again, we're the chaste, but we're also the powerful.
Chaste and we're the powerful. And it's good.
Babe.
It works. They like it. Trust me. Matt's still coming. I have a rant that I wrote down that obviously the reason I'm wearing this now in the second half is just to bring this up again. But like, we're still participating in a genocide and we can't call for a ceasefire because no reason. Israel has absolutely no power on its own. We give them $4 billion a year. They literally rely on Uncle Sam to do everything. And
but don't worry, we just signed up for our fucking healthcare where we had to pick if we wanted to go to the doctor this year or not. So
literally, I was doing open enrollment, and I'm like,
and it's like, do you want to see the doctor? Because if so, you need to pay this. But if not,
I know. I asked our HR people, I'm like, so what's the difference between this plan and this plan? They go, well, if you expect to spend a medium amount of money, do this plan. If you expect to spend very little or a lot, pick that plan. I'm like,
honey, it's HSA.
What
you
is
gotta
that?
go for
So
HSA.
that's what I did. I did high deductible because I'm like, I always spend a lot.
No matter what, do an HSA. Here's why. You get to keep the money, but also...
Yeah, it's not like an FSA.
Also, usually the out-of-pocket max is the same. So if something catastrophic were to happen, you are still going to get covered after $6,000 is spent. So like... You might be paying and like paying co-pays and all this shit.
Right. You're like PPO.
Right.
The PPO plans are.
But then you're still going to pay up to $6,000 for like emergency funds or whatever.
Yep.
Whereas same for me. So like I'm going to keep my shit.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many years I did like because I was, and how much money was just thrown away.
No, when you do that PPO
Given
plan,
Israel,
you think it. That's the problem is our money is just sent away and
they have to do this. This is why we don't have healthcare.
Yeah, this is why we don't.
Because we
can't afford it. And then I'm like,
done with
but we can afford to give Israel $200 billion since World War II. Why can't we pay for healthcare here? We can't afford it. We can't afford it.
Meanwhile, you have us like trying to answer questions we have no fucking idea about.
No.
You make us work fucking 8-hour day.
I realized this. Matt's ex was like, his ex-wife was asking me questions about, so what will it cost if my stepson has to go to like a psychologist? I'm like, the full payment. I was like, my health insurance doesn't even pay for me to go to a psychologist, like at all. I have to pay $220 every visit.
Yep.
That's the cost.
Why
Remember BetterHelp?
BetterHelp, because I couldn't afford it.
Why are we paying $220 to go get mental help to keep us sane, to keep us working in this capitalistic system when we could have it covered? Like other countries in Europe are like, oh,
we're kind of like
help?
Israel.
You need help? Yeah, literally. It's just like that. Israel has health insurance covered. Their citizens are paid for by us. But we're here in the U.S. going, we can't afford it.
Well, let me pick the plan.
I know, we did pick a fucking plan.
Well, if I have to get an ambulance ride, it's going to be $10,000. So,
for me to add I can't. For me to add Matt and my stepson, it literally went from me paying $118 per pay period to $330 per pay period. I was like, okay, so I'm going from
$200. Do you get to claim
$240 to no, because he's 18.
Okay, well, I'm over it.
Right? But
you're right.
Right?
You're right.
Okay, so this is what I wrote in the midst of all this because I'm like wondering like, hey, what are we even doing here? And I'm kind of annoyed that I'm not seeing a lot of the gays posting, including like, you know, all these types of people. Yeah, I called him out. Okay. He finally posted something today after a month. So we've had a month of genocide, a month of U.S. bombs just dropping and killing over 5,000 children in Gaza for absolutely no reason. Like, no reason. There's no reason children and civilians should be dying
Anywhere.
Like that would be
Not
like
just
if we're
there,
like, well,
anywhere.
there are terrorists here, so we have to bomb the whole country.
Imagine if like you were
Like,
hearing
no.
like, oh, in Chicago right now,
Yes.
kids are just getting shot
There
and
was
killed.
one
We'd be
terror-
like, oh my God.
There was like if you say there's one terrorist in Chicago, but we're gonna bomb all of Chicago because there's one terrorist, we wouldn't allow it. But we're allowing it in Gaza because they're brown and we don't give a fuck. And they're not Christian, they're Muslim mainly. Okay. So
Which is still the same thing because they're like Abraham or something.
we're all in the same religion. We're all in the
just
same
not cut or something. Is that 'cause
monotheistic.
they're not
No,
cut?
they are because of Abraham. Because God told Abraham, your followers have to be
Again,
circumcised.
if you're a Bible reader, and I know you're not listening to this show, but if you happen to watch this on maybe TikTok, it's really interesting to me that you follow this situation. They talk about cutting cocks in there,
Yep.
and you're okay with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're okay with it. So I got real upset. This is what I typed to ask you. I
love
said,
rage typing.
I go, what does the gay community even do here in Columbus? It's a bunch of alcoholic and drug addicts playing kickball or dodgeball and memorizing Taylor Swift and Kim Petras lyrics. Oh, AWOL with the girlies, then afties? Oh, you're going to Wilton Manors? Wow, groundbreaking. And scene.
Whoa, girl, fuck.
Because that's honestly how I feel about the gays here. Like when I go out and I'm looking around, I'm like, I don't think any of you actually know what's going on in the world at all, but you think you do because you're talking about, oh, Dua Lipa released a new single,
good.
or oh my
It's fine.
fuck, and it might be good, but it's like it has nothing to do with the world.
I feel like- can I
people
just-
are dying with your tax dollars. We are bombing innocent people
Okay.
with your tax dollars, and you're just like, well, I'm gonna go here next summer because Puerto Vallarta's calling.
Okay, but here's what I want to say to you. And I actually think that you're absolutely 100% right. What I think the problem is that a bunch of us white gays
Yeah.
don't have cultural friends. And I think you knowing Sabrine
Yes.
has
It's
changed
changed
your
me.
entire life because
changed us.
changed. Well, yeah,
We
I'm
would
the same-
never have known of this.
Honestly, I would have been like,
I told her
okay.
4 years ago.
I wouldn't have-
would
I
have
wouldn't
called
have-
this a war between Israel and
Yeah, but I
it's
would
a
have been like,
war.
whatever. I
It's
don't
a
really.
war. Yeah.
Oh, hurry up.
Oh, the Palestinians are all terrorists.
But when
Like,
you meet
that's where I
these
would've-
actual people
you're
that
like, oh
are
wait,
from the area,
that's your
and they're
family.
so,
Your family lives there, and we're dropping bombs on
and
them.
she makes the best charcuterie board.
Girl.
So, honestly, it's
This girl's
only
a-
for that.
This bitch is a chef.
No, honestly though, it's. I think I want to explain to our listeners though that like your passion for it is based on the fact that your best friend and one of your best friends,
Best.
one of your best friends,
Best.
one of your best, one of your best, one of your best.
Best. Oh, sorry, I coughed.
One of your best.
Best.
Wow, I think that's how we're gonna one of the best.
Wow. Okay.
So anyway, knowing her though has changed your perspective, and so now you are speaking out. Now,
Yes.
to answer your question about the Columbus gays,
Did anything I said? Did anything
nothing
I
was
said sound wrong?
No, it wasn't wrong.
Like, are you not sick of going out to
But
the
I
same
almost-
bars and
but-
looking around and
but-
being like, they've ordered another bucket. They think they're living the time of their lives because they're dressed up in like slutty outfits, and then they're like, "We're going to Afties," and then they're posting. And you're like, "Oh wow, you stayed up till 5 a.m. again, great! Wow."
No.
Meanwhile, you don't have jobs and you're renting your apartment, and you don't have a boyfriend because you're perpetually single because you're a piece of shit. And it's like,
and you're not cute.
and you're not cute, but you think you're cute, and
You
we
just
just have
have
to sit
pecs.
around
It's
and be
like-
like, yeah, this is our community. Like, I can't wait for Pride next year. It's so exciting to celebrate with you all. But you know nothing about the world.
But I want to say something, and this
Go
is going to
ahead
be
and
me.
say
I'm
it.
always a devil's advocate, so you know that.
I know
we got to. That's part of.
love the problematic gays.
No,
Go
but
ahead.
this is what we have to do. This is part of discussion. But my thing is that I feel like a lot of these people are probably also traumatized in some sort
they
of
are.
way.
No, they all are.
And they have no like family background, or so like why would they know the world when their families turn their back on them? So they don't give a fuck if Israel's turning their back on whoever, whatever.
No.
They've been there. So that's my only thing with that. However,
It's a bunch of
however, when you're in your 30s, when you're past, you're an adult now.
Which
it's
the
time
people
to
I'm
make.
the people I'm
I
thinking
know
of
you
are now in their
they're
30s. Like I just saw people celebrate their like 29th and their 30th. Like last month, some of the people I'm
don't
talking
even know
about,
29
the
years
ones who
anymore.
call themselves the girlies and show up at AWOL every weekend and then like
I don't
pretend
get
they're
it.
sluts. But
Now
dude,
we're gonna show up at AWOL, but
we're the real girlies.
Bitch, you want to be a girly.
You want to be a girly.
No, but I think there's a lot of trauma involved, and I don't think it's necessarily their fault. Like, I wonder if they did know a Sabrine,
I don't think
what they would act.
No, I don't think it's actively choosing at all.
It's sad.
I do
It's actually
find
kinda
it
sad.
funny that they can see it all on social media, though,
Yeah,
and
I
choose
agree.
to ignore it or act like it's too complex to understand, or I just can't do it. I don't know what to say because, and it's like,
I mean, I will say,
yeah,
it's hard, though.
complex.
It's not complex to say, there's children dying. Like,
Yeah,
what are we
that's
doing?
pretty simple.
And honestly, if you don't follow Trana Wintour,
She's
I
amazing.
never can say her fucking last name.
Trina Wintour.
I don't know why I just don't like it, but
Because Anna Wintour.
I know, but I just don't. I would say Wintier.
It does look like Windtower.
Yeah. So anyway, follow her because let me tell you, this trans woman from Montreal. Why did that make you laugh?
This trans woman
bitch.
from Montreal.
It's right here, bitch. This is her.
I'm not actually a fan.
Now,
I've been texting her so much
Oh, no.
recently because she
She
took a
is
bold
on
stand.
fire.
She is a celebrity
She-
in Quebec,
she
and
is.
she literally came out and was like, "I'm
Fuck
against.
this.
Hey, I'm against genocide." She has lost followers, but she doesn't care. She's just
Nope.
speaking out
Don't
because she
care.
realizes this is a moment in history where if you're silent, you're on the wrong side of history. Sorry.
so sundries. And my sundry is not going to be a bad thing. It's going to be a good thing this week. I'm going to change it up. What I want to say is I want to talk about the gay campground again. It's like legit. Like I'm really pursuing it. I have a Instagram page. Like I have a GoFundMe. Like it scares me though because like of all the shit that's
Do you
happening.
have cancer?
No,
GoFundMe.
no, like for like people to invest or donate.
Okay.
Go to www.thewoodlandsgayresort.com. Check us out. I'll follow us on Instagram. I'm just trying to see if I can get a buzz, a good buzz, and oh my god, I can't speak English. I have
Get a good buzz or have a
I have
good
a buzz
buzz?
online, but also I want to get a buzz about the campground to see if it's something to really pursue. So please follow us. That's all my sundry is this week.
That's a short sundry. My sundry is everything is pretend. The other night I found myself. Okay, my sundry is that. Please find that cock though. By the way, while you also listen.
I am, babe.
Okay. My sundry is that everything is pretend. So this happened to me on Wednesday. I met a really hot straight guy when I was out with my friend Sabrine, and his name was John. And so John was talking to me a lot that night while he sat on my side of the booth at the Pearl about how he wanted to give Sabrine all the pleasure in the world and how he wanted his tongue to be broken. And he wanted a tongue implant after he was done with her, and how he would just let her do whatever she wanted to him. So then I went home and I found myself, messing around with my husband as one does. And this might be a shock to him as he's listening. I'm sorry, Matt. But I realized that while Matt was busy with a certain area of my body, that I felt I was imagining what if I had a vagina. So because I kept like fantasizing about John licking my pussy. And so I was imagining while Matt was eating my ass, like I looked down and I was like, and with these nails, like I'm a woman.
Right.
So I was
Fat
like,
pussy.
what if John were eating my pussy as Matt's licking my vagina? I kept having that problem of thought. Have you ever thought that you've had a vagina? Or what if you had one?
If I had one,
Because
I'd be a horror.
no, that's what I'm saying. Can you imagine?
No.
Stop scrolling and think about
I'm
this.
finding the cock for you.
We can find the cock later. Imagine if you stop. You are looking
found
at
it.
way too much fucking
Okay,
dick.
I got it.
I want you to imagine right now that you've encountered a straight man who only fucks vaginas. And if you could
Could it be
just,
like a
if you
superpower,
could
be like, go, Power Rangers.
No, if you could switch your dick to a
To a pussy,
vagina.
right.
And everything else is the same though, and he's into you because you're like a butch man, and
Be like,
you
"You
like
wanna
talk.
fuck my
you can talk
pussy?"
about sports, and then he can fuck your pussy though because he's a straight guy. Wouldn't that be great?
It'd be amazing.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like my sundry
Do
is
you want a pussy?
sometimes.
I think you do kind of.
Sometimes I want one because
that's fine.
it's all pretend. No, I'm not worried about if it's fine or not. I don't give a fuck if it's not fine. I don't give a fuck if it's not fine. It's what I'm experiencing in my life. But I feel like gender is pretend. Anatomy is pretend. I feel like we're connecting with people on different levels that have nothing to do with societal constructs of what we need to be.
Literally.
So that's my sundry. I know you don't get it, but that's
No,
life.
I totally get it. No, I totally get it. You had me distracted because you wanted to look for a guy's cock.
But
And
you
then
can
you're-
look for the cock later.
You said, okay, I'm going to do a review of this and we're going to rewind because you literally. Okay, so anyway.
Okay, well.
This has been another episode of Not Well, 614-721-5336. We love you. Thank
love you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Peace out. Okay.
Phil. Hey, Phil. What are Saturdays for?
Saturday fun day.
No. What else are they for?
Saturday.
Saturdays are for the
Saturday.
No.